Good evening, friends. Today I want to talk about breaking the mold of compulsive habits, compulsive patterns, behaviors, addictions. What will be best described in the Bhagavad Gita and the mode of Gunas as Tamas activities. So, as you know, Gunas refers to the influencing mold or environment in which an individual surrounds himself that will determine the kind of action that he undertakes, which is to say, the company of the other individuals as well as the circumstances that are prevailing at the time of commission of action determine the kind of action that one undertakes. And obviously, there are three different kinds of material modes of nature or guna that one can classify any activity in the universe. For instance, at this point when I'm speaking with a lot of vigor and energy, this is representing the mode of energy or rajas. Now, so the three modes of gunas are Satva, Rajas and Tamas. Satva, Sat meaning truth, comes from the mode of balance, harmony, goodwill. This is the mode in which you are trying to uh, inhibit the excesses. Ati sarvatra varjayet, as it is said in Sanskrit, or excesses are inhibited and prohibited. So, Sattva represents the mode of balance, and that's why it is the mode of lightheartedness, mode of sympathy, mode of charity, kindness, anything that creates a good feeling in your heart after the activity is done. This is diametrically opposite to the feeling of tamas. Tamas means tam. Tam comes from darkness or andhakar. So, darkness in the sense that there is ignorance, insensitivity, heedlessness, there is constant repetition of activities in a cyclical pattern which is very hard for a person to break. So, even if the person has awareness, they will not be able to break this cyclical activity just because they feel almost programmed to be doing these activities. So, examples of Tamasic activities are obsessive compulsive disorders, any obsessions that you have, anything, any activity that we perform because we are almost feeling compulsive in nature to do it. The middle energy or guna is rajas, which is representing the mode of energy. It is the mode of feelings such as ambition, curiosity. If it goes a little negative, it can be frustration, it can be fear, but these are all high energy vibes which will create a break in the existing status quo or inertia that is prevailing. That is to say, the ignorance, insensitivity, slothfulness of tamas. So, let me give you a very clear example of how to distinguish these three. The feeling of love, all of us have gone through this feeling of love. You can distinguish love depending on the influence that is surrounding it into three different ways: a sattvic love, a rajasic love, and a tamasic love. What is the sattvic or the love of harmony and balance? Best example is tough love. Any love that wants to discipline an individual so that the individual can get to their higher goals in life is considered tough love. Best example is parenting. If a person loves their kids, he's not going to acquiesce to every single demand that the kid is presenting, because you'll want to raise the kid in the right proper way so that they have the same quality of life and goals that you had in life so that they can reach good quality of life and goals in life. So that is why tough love, or love that tends to discipline you but still is unconditional in nature, is sattvic love. The rajasic love or the love of energy would be best determined as passion, the feeling of passion, which a person can have towards their boyfriend, girlfriend, spouse, their beloved. And in that mode, they are willing to do a lot of activity that they would not have otherwise undertaken just to win over the other person. So if they might take a second job, they might get a college degree, they might do additional chores in the house, anything that makes them a better person. Whenever we say, you make me a better man, we are referring to the rajasic energy that is helping you bring out the best person that you can be. The third one, of course, is the love which is demanding, and requiring a repetitive compulsive activities. So more like in the mode of lust, because lust itself can be Rajasik or Tamasic. But when you think about Tamasic love, I think the best example will be compulsive activities that people do during sex. And those things almost feel like a repetitive ritual that a person has to go through to feel the surge of happiness or the bursts of the neurotransmitter dopamine as they get an orgasm. So that you can distinguish this from the love of passion, because love of passion can curtail itself when it wants, but Tamasic love, once it initiates, it has to go through the cyclical pattern of activities or speeches in order to get the neurotransmitter dopamine rolling in the brain. So if you want to break the mold of Tamasic, repetitive, compulsive activities, be it the addiction of smoking, drinking, porn addiction, gambling, anything that seems to be a bad habit, but you almost feel helplessly surrendering yourself to that activity, you need to take help of Rajas energy, the energy of vibration, the energy of change, which will break the mold of inertia, which is inhabited in Tamas. So those will be feelings of curiosity, those will be feelings of anger even. Anger is considered a bad way, but anger itself can make you change from Tamas, because it's a moldy, gooey, sticky place, to the mode of Rajas, which is giving you so much energy to break that mold and go into Satvik end. So anger, fear, worry, worrying about the dire consequences from performance of certain activities can be a good thing. Curiosity and ambition to reach higher in life. Those are some of the Rajasic energies that will propel us to break the mold of inertia that exists in Tamas. So to sum it up, my friends, three different kinds of energies that are existing in the material modes, which is called Gunas in the ancient Indian literature in Bhagavad Gita. Satva is the mold of goodness, harmony, charity, anything that makes you feel bubbly and happy and perky and joyful. That's why the monks are always seen so happy and glowing in their faces, because they are meditating in the mold of Satva, or even Nishkam Karma, which means activities where you don't have an expectation of gifts in return. The second is the mold of Rajas. The Rajas Guna represents the mold of energy, passion, ambition, can also represent fear, anger, worry, anything that is helping you perform or prohibit a certain activity. And the third one, of course, is the Tamas, or the ignorance, heedlessness, sloth, indolence, the mold where you feel compulsive need to perform certain activities in order to gain some sort of transient pleasures, mostly mediated by dopamine. Hope you like this short video. Please feel free to leave your comments below.